Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. My name is DaReal, and we are here with some NBA 2K Mobile, and a brand new NBA All-Star 2023 has officially arrived inside the game. So let's get into it. Let's break down this brand new theme inside this new update. You can see the official announcement inside the game. So follow the NBA 2K Mobile Twitter account to get a code. That's right, it's going to be a brand new code for the All-Star event for a brand new All-Star 2023 card this week and next. So you get a chance to get two free NBA All-Star 2023 cards, and there's going to be some drills with limited time events where you can earn collectibles to complete a new All-Star 2023 set. As expected, this is going to be crazy. Let's jump into the catalog and see what new cards were added. Now, first thing I want to highlight is how to get a brand new Topaz LeBron James for free. So in order to get this Topaz LeBron James, which is pretty insane that they're going to be giving out a free LeBron, you got to get a pink diamond Nikola Jokic and a pink diamond Luka. If you notice, it also says All-Star 2023 number 2, which is what was announced in the in-game news. So good chances are there are going to be some free codes for possibly those two players. And then the only thing that you need to do afterwards is get 2023 emblem collectibles, which you can obtain by completing a drill chain or winning in a limited time event. The other item you can get is the 2023 ALL-Star collectibles. You earn this by completing a drill chain and also by winning in a limited time event. And the last item is the conference collectibles. Those are also obtainable by completing the drills and winning them in a limited time event. So all you gotta do is just play for the next 2 weeks, grind the game, make sure you redeem those codes, and you can get this free Topaz LeBron James on your squad, who starts off with 65,000 power. This is going to be a beast card. Now, the second set item, this card was revealed last week as one of the teaser cards. It is a Amber Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. In order to get him, and this is kind of a spoiler, but you need to get a Dark Matter Tyrese Halliburton, a Topaz Stephen Curry. So there is a new Steph Curry added to this team, a Jade Nikola Jokic, a Pearl Domantas Sabonis, and an Obsidian Zion Williamson. So if you get those 5 cards, you can get a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as well. Now, as far as the rest of the theme, we got a pink diamond Julius Randle. Y'all know this card is great. One of the gems inside the game. Julius Randle has a 5 in strength and rebounding, a mid-range shooting. So he's definitely a really good player. If you needed to bring up some of his stats, just bring up his defending and maybe bring up his post scoring, since those are categories that he's already strong in and then you can make better. And his mid-range is already a 5, so you don't need to boost that up. Next, we got a pink diamond Paul George. He's got a 5 in defending, in mid-range shooting, shooter off dribble, and 3-point shot. One of my favorite players to use inside this game. If you were to build out Paul George, bring up his playmaking, he will go crazy, and bring up his shooting stats. Pink diamond Jrue Holiday, who is craftable with just 1 collectible. He's got a 5 in defending, 5 in mid-range, and a 5 in 3-point shot and shoot off dribble. Definitely a gem in this game as well. And I think all the players in this All-Star game are going to be gems, right? So I'm not even going to say it anymore. But all these players have potential to be built out to be elite. As far as Jrue Holiday, if you were to bring up anything, it would be layups and dunks and possibly playmaking or agility. Then we got a pink diamond Luka, which I think is going to be the code. It was listed in that set. He's got a 5 in mid-range, 3-point shot, rebounding, playmaking, and shoot off dribble. Pretty elite player. If you were to bring up some stats for Luka, bring up his defending and possibly bring up his layups and dunks. Next, we got the Nikola Jokic, which I also think is the second code you can get. He has a 5 in playmaking, mid-range shooting, shoot off dribble, post scoring, and strength and mid-range. One of the top centers inside this game and the best overall based off of stats. Next is Jaren Jackson Jr. kicking off the Galaxy Opals. If you were to bring up some of his stats, I will boost up his playmaking. And I want to clarify something because this comes up, I think, almost all the time. So agility does boost up run speed and jumping, but playmaking boosts up the player's ability with the ball, right? And that's what I've been observing for the past couple seasons. And I think that that's the best way to describe it, right? So agility is run speed, playmaking is speed with the ball, just to give you a better understanding, right? So with that in mind, we got to bring up his playmaking. And if you could, bring up his layups and dunks and boost up his rebounding, and he'll be very good for your team. Next is DeMar DeRozan, Galaxy Opal as well. DeMar DeRozan has one of the sweetest jump shots inside his game. He's already got a 5 in mid-range and shoot-off dribble. If you could bring up his layups and dunks, he will be a slasher for sure. And you could bring up his defending. Next is Damian Lillard. One of my favorite cards in the game as well. That courtside Dame is my favorite point guard. He's got a 5 and 3-point shot, mid-range, shoot-off dribble, and playmaking. So you could bring up his defending, which is a 3, and his layups and dunks, which is a 4. Next, we got a Lauri Markkanen, Dark Matter, one of my favorite players for my second account. He got a 5 in mid-range shooting, 3-point shot. Definitely a really good scorer. If you were to bring up some items for him, you could bring up his defending, you could bring up his agility or playmaking, and his rebounding. Next is Tyrese Halliburton. He is craftable with 3 collectibles. He's got a 5 in mid-range, 3-point shot, playmaking, agility. So if you could bring up some items, bring up his defense, and bring up his shoot-off dribble or layups and dunks. Next is Bam Adebayo, 5 in defending, 5 in layups and dunks, 5 in post scoring. If you are to bring up some stats for him, bring up his mid-range shooting. He is a good pick and roll, pick and pop type player. Next, we got a Topaz Kyrie Irving. One of the best scorers inside this game. Incredible for head-to-head. And it's nice to finally see a new rarity for him, but the last theme card he had was a Dark Matter. I was hoping Kyrie might have had a higher rarity than a Topaz, but maybe it'll come soon, right? He's got a 5 in playmaking, 5 in mid-range, 5 in 3-point shot, 5 in shoot-off dribble, and a 5 in agility. So he's very solid overall. If you were to bring up some stats for Kyrie, bring up his layups and dunks and his defending. Next, we got a Stephen Curry who is craftable. So that is a W for new players. And for those that don't have a Curry or might have missed out on the Jade or NBA Curry, Stephen Curry is one of the most elite scorers inside this game, especially in head-to-head. He is incredible. If you do bring up some stats for him, it would be his defending and his layups and dunks. Next, we got the Topaz LeBron James, who is the set item for set number 2. LeBron is one of the top players inside this game. Him and Giannis have the best stats overall. So if you get LeBron, you can build him out whatever way you want. He's going to be incredible. And debatably, he is the top small forward, but there could be a good argument that so is Kevin Durant, Carmelo Anthony, or Larry Bird. Next, we got a Jade Donovan Mitchell. For those of you that missed out on the Pearl Winter Donovan Mitchell, this is a great card to get. A lot of fun to use, incredible bunnies, really good jump shot. If you are to bring up some stats for Donovan Mitchell, it probably will just be his defending and then boost up all his stats that are 5 or higher. Next, we got a Giannis, a Jade Giannis, which is cool, right? For those of you that are not getting the courtside pass, which is the Amber Giannis, it gives you a chance to still have a Giannis on your squad that's very powerful. He's got one of the best overall skills sets in the game. So if you were to build him up, just build him out whatever way is to your liking. Now we got a Jade Nikola Jokic, which is interesting because there's 2 Nikola Jokic's inside this team, which I'm pretty surprised about. I've never seen that before. But there's a good chance that maybe that pink diamond Nikola Jokic might have replaced another player that was in this team. I'm not too sure. But he's got a 5 in shoot-off dribble, 5 in mid-range, 5 in post-scoring. But it's basically the same concept that you would do with the pink diamond. Next, we got a Pearl Jaylen Brown. Another fun card to use. Boost up his defending and his playmaking and his shoot-off dribble. Next, we got the Domantas Sabonis. He's a very good post-scorer. If you were to bring some stats for him, bring up his defending, which is pretty low at a 3. And you could boost up his layups and dunks. Next, we got a Pearl Ja Morant. If you missed out on the Obsidian Trash Talkers, this is a good card to get. Definitely has better gameplay this time around, and it's fun to use in head-to-head. If you are to bring up some stats for Ja, you can boost up his defending and then boost up his other strong categories. Next is Obsidian Zion Williamson. If you missed out on the Pearl Halloween Zion, this one here is craftable. You can work on crafting this one. Zion is decent in this game. If you are bringing up some of his stats, definitely bring up his defending sitting at a 3. Boost up his rebounding as well. And if you could, bring up the mid-range. Jason Tatum coming in with Obsidian. If you missed out on the Pearl Cross-Side Pass, Jason Tatum, this is a great upgrade. One of the smoothest jump shots in the game. I think that Jason Tatum is a green machine. Really good to use in head-to-head as well. He's got a 5 in defending, which is pretty elite. If you can bring up some of his stats, boost up playmaking and layups and dunks. I guess what happened with Nikola Jokic wasn't an accident because there's 2 Lukas as well. He has one of the best skill sets for a point guard position inside this game. So if you are to boost up anything for Luka, just keep in mind what I mentioned for the pink diamond. And then we got Amber Shai Gilgeous Alexander. Definitely nice to see an OKC Thunder card get the highest rarity. Doesn't happen often. And KDP, I don't know if you're still playing this game, but I hope you're excited about the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. If you were to bring up some of his stats, definitely got to bring up defending sitting at a 4, and you could bring up his layups and dunks and his 3-point shot. Next, we got 8 Amber Joel Embiid. One of the top centers in this game, one of the best stats. Honestly, in my opinion, I think he has one of the most complete games for a center because he can hit jump shots with no problem, right? He's got a 3-point shot, he's got a mid-range, and I think he's a lot more dominant than Jokic in the paint. If you were to build out Embiid, you got to boost up either his playmaking and agility, and then you could bring up any of his other stats. You know, if you want to bring up his rebounding and his defending, he'll be crazy for your team. And then last but not least, we have a brand new Amber Kevin Durant. One of the best scorers inside this game. One of the greatest gameplays as well. If you're going to boost up anything for KD, maybe layups and dunks and defending, and then just bring up his mid-range and his 3-point shot, and he's a bucket getter. So now that we broke down the theme and we went over the sets, let's see what the upcoming event rewards are and what those events will be. So let's get into it. All right, so here is the official announcement of the events. And I did explain some of the stuff already, but the first event is going to be 3v3 gauntlet. Joel Embiid will be the Amber reward. So if you didn't get Yao Ming, you want to grind for that Joel Embiid for sure. Obsidian Luka will be the second reward, and then Pearl Jaylen Brown will be the first reward. Then the next event will be King of the Court. Amber Shai Gilgeous-Alexander will be the final reward, so that's going to be pretty cool. Obsidian Jason Tatum will be the second reward, that's solid. And then the Pearl Ja Morant will be the first reward for that event. So if you didn't get a Ja Morant, this is a good chance to add him to your squad, and it's going to be great for a lot of people. The next item is the LeBron set. Stay tuned to get a Pink Diamond Luka and Nikola Jokic. So it looks like my guess was correct, but it wasn't that hard to figure out, to be honest with you. And then there's going to be a 3v3 gauntlet, which will feature all-star jerseys. That's sick. It will also be available in crews, and there will be extra energy. So that will make it a lot easier to grind and finish that event. Massive W for the free-to-play players. And then the last item is the drills will have new additions of 2v2 and 3v3. That's going to be cool. Definitely going to make grinding the drills a little bit more fun. There have been the same drills inside this game for a very long time, so this will be really cool. So that's pretty much it. That is the NBA All-Star 2023 theme explained. And there's a lot going on. It's going to be a lot of fun. And this is cool because this is going to be a chance for a lot of people to get a LeBron on their team, a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, a Ja Morant, like some of the fan favorites in the NBA. Luka as well, Nikola Jokic, and definitely a great time to grind the events, all right? So as always, I appreciate all the support everyone's been showing on the channel. I will catch everybody in the next video. Peace out.